when all of our democratic institutions have failed us, right, and we are truly in a dictatorship and an authoritarian regime here has completely shredded the Constitution, then party doesn't matter, and then elections don't matter, and then the resistance looks completely different. But until we reach that moment, and we may be nearing it, Jason, don't get me wrong, the role of the Democratic Party is singular, to win elections.
Well, according to Democrat Ken Martin, elections don't matter anymore. It seems like Dems are just sad that the public voted for something better than whatever they were offering, which was Kamala Harris. It doesn't mean elections don't matter. So what does that actually mean? That they want a civil war? I mean, well, if that's the case, I like my odds, but I still don't want a civil war. Cliff Maloney, Republican strategist, and Ashley Brassfield, Daily Caller reporter. Ashley, I look at this and it's always these noodle arm, little tiny weenie Democrats in ivory towers or concrete towers saying, oh, the Republicans want a civil war. It's like, dude, go to West Virginia and listen when the Hills start singing Country Roads. How you going to like your odds? We have people that sit, I'm one of them, sit in like tree stands for 4 hours still in 20-degree weather for fun.
Yeah, they've lost the art of door knocking, really, the Democratic Party. I saw this old picture the other day, actually, black and white photo of John F. Kennedy Jr., or JFK, excuse me, knocking on doors in West Virginia and back in the 50s and 60s for his campaigns. They've lost it completely. There's a civil war going on within the Democratic Party right now that they have to battle themselves. They want to have a civil war with the Republicans. Mm-hmm. Well, you saw exactly what's happening with Graham Plattner in Maine and Zohran Mamdani and Cuomo in New York, as well as in Virginia with their own candidates. They can't put up a candidate that can't call for violence or be socialist or be establishment. So there's this establishment wing of the party, and then you have a complete, Bernie Sanders progressive wing that they want to keep supporting. And it's a civil war that's happening. They can't make up their minds. And even Martin can't even say that he wants Graham Plattner, that his actions, he's saying that they're not disqualifying.
Yeah. It's shocking to me. Cliff, the other thing, too, is, we know how we feel about AOC, and I don't know if someone like AOC would be preaching about how bad the ultra-rich are and then hiding the fact that she's herself now ultra-rich. Well, look what happened in France. This is one of France's favorite. It's a popular far-left politician. He's their Bernie Sanders. Louis Boyard, sneakily taking off his $50,000 watch before an interview where he went right to the mic and started bashing the rich.
Yeah, and look, it's funny they get caught doing this all the time, right? It shows you just how dishonest and how much they have to kind of play for the cameras. It reminds me of COVID, when they would take the masks off before they would come in, or excuse me, they'd put the masks on when they walked in, and then right when they walked out, the mask would come off. Bernie Sanders, like you brought up, is the great example when you compare it to America. The guy's worth $3 million. He's got 3 different houses, and his whole entire
message is... He's worth $8 million, Cliff. He's worth $8 million now.
I haven't looked at his stocks too often, but 3 houses, Carl. I mean, you got to tell me that that's the guy telling us the solution is to end capitalism as we know it. They're total hypocrites.
Yeah. Well, and Cliff, the reason you haven't looked at his stock recently is because they get inside information that we don't. So we got to try to keep up with it. All right. So Gavin Newsom, had Obama on his live stream yesterday. Ashley, this is insane, okay? They always want to bash President Trump. Well, nobody cares, apparently, because their live stream only had 6,000 total views in the last 24 hours. 200-something views in real time.
Right. Well, this is one of the most popular presidents, they say, President Obama, right? Sure. And we have Gavin Newsom. And, with this specifically, it's really incredible that they only got 6,000 views. I think it was very hard for even, people that were watching it to believe what they were saying. I don't even think they believe what they're saying. I would say Democrats are specifically more involved with redistricting and this is mainly the topic they were talking about. A lot of these states Republican ran that specifically they were, bashing. And of course, this was a knee-jerk response by California when the Texas redistricting was happening. Mm-hmm. But, it's laughable having someone like Gavin Newsom bring on Barack Obama, these establishment Democrats, once again, that the party doesn't really align with at this point because they're, supporting people like Zohran Mamdani in New York and Graham Plattner in Maine. I think it is the split that's happening within the Democrat Party, and you're seeing that right there with the results of those views.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Real quick clip, Sunny Hostin from The View saying that her local police department and neighborhood are racist. Roll this real quick.
As a mother of Black children, I know that Black boys are not given the presumption of innocence and the presumption of youth. She's calling the police and saying they're trying to steal her car, and they're 11 years old. They don't know how to drive. And so for me, what was interesting was I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood. And I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him.
That didn't happen, Cliff.
Here's my advice to her. Teach your son to be a victor, not a victim. One note, Carl, I got to say, the average median household income in Purchase, New York, where she lives, is just under $1 million. I mean, come on. This is her spewing these lies to just draw some sort of racism, to get some attention. Let's just get back to teaching kids to do good things and interact with law enforcement properly.
And can I note, her son went to Harvard University. He graduated this year. I just want to know
funnier.
that.
Unbelievable. All right, Ashley, Cliff, we got to leave right there. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Take care.